Alright, above average here. I'm going to do a little replay video. People have been asking me for replays. They just want to see me duel. They want to see some Kashtira replays, so I thought, why not? So first duel is against GG Zane. He has 921 rating against my 953. He's playing Centurion. I'm getting a phone call from China. Definitely not spam. He has Terraforming, the one card combo, right? Primera, Pancratops, Nib, and Gizmigaroji. So good going first hand, good going second hand, right? I have Rise Heart, Preparations, which I don't want to see, Shifter, Super Poly, and Pressure Planet. So for these replays, I'm going to show you two replays. I normally play like one-ofs. I decided to take all those cards out, and I'm testing 3 Super Poly and 2 other cards. It's the Scareclaw Field Spell and Visa Starfrost. Through the replays, you're going to see what I do with those cards. But yeah, suboptimal hand. I mean, I have one push. If this gets stopped, it's pretty clipped for me, right? Like I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah, he opens pretty good. I think he wins the dice roll. I draw Shifter, so I Shifter him. He ends on still a decent board, right? I go Unicorn, Pressure Planet, get Unicorn. He has to pretty much pop here and draw, hoping to draw into another hand trap as well as get rid of my Unicorn. But yep, I have Rise Heart, Quick Thinking, Banish Preparations, add back Unicorn, crash my Rise Heart, so I can express out my Unicorn again, and then, eventually start playing the game. He also, by popping my Unicorn, he makes me play into Nib, which is very smart of him. So here, Fenrir, search Fenrir. Just for follow-up, set my preparations, set my Super Poly, and pass. Here he nibs me, which is actually not the end of the world. I can still kind of play through it because preparations in the draw phase brings back Shanger Era. And then Shanger Era in the standby phase, he goes a little too quickly. I wanted to pop here with Pressure Planet. Yep, so even after Nib, I can preparations bring back my Shang, and then Shang summon Fenrir. Alright. Next play. Here he has a full engine pretty much. I have a dead Super Poly. I'm waiting for him to put another card on the board. So eventually he puts another Earth, so I think this is the best time to Super Poly. It stops the Synchro Summoning. I get rid of the Pancratops, and I get a King of the Swamp. Here he goes Orochi, allowing him to still go into Legaria, popping a card, drawing a card. He pretty much goes crazy here. I thought I forgot that I used preparations, so I tried to use it again, but obviously I can't do that. Here I bring back Fenrir. Because he used the trap effect, I get to look at his hand, rip a card, Fenrir I banish, bait the negate. I have Ragphobia, just so I can start playing the game a little bit. But I do a very crucial misplay here, so I tribute that. I get my Unicorn, tribute over to summon Unicorn, get my Birth, but I forgot that I used Fenrir already, so I tried to use it again, but I decided to use it, forgot, crashing my Fenrir, leaving me with no plays. I couldn't even bounce this because it gets boosted, but it doesn't matter. Like I get destroyed anyway. There was no way I was winning that game regardless. So I misplayed way too much this game. Yep, so he just goes into another Synchro, attacks, clears my whole board, pretty much putting me on top decking mode. He has the negate. There's no way to win here. I thought I had it just because I cleared his board, but here he gets to go into access code and pretty much just rip apart my whole entire board. And having the Quasar, or whatever it's called, Cosmic Blazar Dragon, it's quite insane. Just having a hard negate every single turn. So going into game 2 right now, he opens, again, pretty decent, the 1-card combo. It turns out he's playing super heavies. I didn't know that. Though, again, the 1-card combo, Fenrir, Ogre, pretty good hand. I have double Theosis, not great, Judgment, and the card that I really don't want to draw. So the main play is you get, through your cache cards, you get into the Scareclaw cache, and that turns into the Link 1, which then searches this, and then this searches your Visa Starfrost. So drawing this or Visas is not the end of the world, but it's definitely not the cards that you want to draw, right? Here I have a singular push, pretty much, Prosperity, hoping to get into something. But even if that got stopped with Ash or something, I think I have still like a semi-decent push. This getting Scareclaw, banishing Theosis. I get Theosis the Scareclaw, summon Unicorn, get Birth, go into Shang, set Judgment, pass. I pretty much end on like the same exact board actually, is the one that I'm saying right now. Just because Ogre, me not drawing Shifter, he's able to Ogre my Birth. So here I try to go for the full board, trying to get Birth here so I can bring back my Ogre and get preparations. Yep, he ends up ogring my Birth. Unicorn rip the first synchro, the Legaria, so I could rip another one on his turn. Set Judgment and pass. So here, I have to Judgment the Fenrir because I misplayed. Not I misplayed, but I couldn't. If I didn't Judgment the Fenrir, he could just like get rid of my Fenrir, and then I have absolutely no other disruptions. So I knew I had to Judgment there, and then hope my plays get me there. It ended up getting me there. He couldn't out my Shang and my follow up. So going into game 3 now, he has Ash, Big Benki. Unfortunately, he drew the brick. Fenrir, Nib, and the bike. And then again, I draw Rakphobia. Double Pressure Planet, very redundant. Scareclaw, Cash, and Unicorn. So just I'm playing with a bunch of engine. Oh, last duel, I didn't show it, but off my Banish 3, Frey's Heart, I ended up hitting his Big Benki. So I think that mattered. Yeah, so here he tries to just use everything to end on Fenrir. Barone, he pendulum summoned. Summoned Fenrir, Barone, pass with the Nib in hand. Not bad. But yeah, for Cash, I mean, it's very easy to play through this. Yep, I just start playing normal Cash things, summon Unicorn, deal with the Fenrir, so I don't have to deal with the Banish. And I knew I'm not OTKing, right? So I just attack over that, then just start playing the game. I go into Barone, and then I knew that stops Nib. And pretty much deals with the whole entire board. So that was replay number 1. Replay number 2, I end up playing against the Pile deck. I've been seeing this deck a lot online, or like just pile decks with Horus cards and the Resonator cards and the Bystials. Like I've been dueling against that deck like minimum. Like if I play 5 matches in a day, 2 to 3 of them are this deck. But yeah, he draws really well. He draws Kingsark, Resonator, Druis Worm, Droll, and the Collapse Serpent. So that's pretty much like every engine in his deck, right? And then I have Terraforming, Rise Heart, Super Poly, Unicorn, and shockingly, Rakphobia. So we're just gonna let him go first. Resolve everything. We have no hand traps. Just giving him the thumbs up. He could just play. I like this deck. I like the engines, but I think the deck just doesn't have follow up, right? Like you spill your whole hand and then like you kind of hope it gets you there. You don't really have follow up. Like you hope your negates get you there, but let's see what he ends on. So here, I'm gonna pause it after he passes. He does like a random banish here, but yeah. So I draw for turn. And what do I draw? Visa Starfrost, another card that I can't really use. But yeah, he has the Dispatter, Druis Worm with the pop, right? So like a double pop send action. SP Little Knight, this that adds back the level 2 guy from Grave. And then the Kingsark, which might as well have an effect, even though it has no effect. It's the card reads you have to deal with it, or else you lose the next turn. And draw. So he ends with like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5-ish type of disruptions, which is not bad. I super poly here, just to deal with the Druis Worm and the Dispatter, shutting this off, as well as like making him send if he wants to send. In hindsight, I don't think he should have sent, just to lock up my zone, but here I draw a card, right? Drawn to Ash, of course. Through his mill, he ended up milling my Rise Heart, so this enables me to inherently summon Vicious Astrolabe, and then dealing with the SP. And then after that, I know with one card in hand, he can't have much, right? So I just start playing, doing normal casting, and start breaking his whole board. He rolls me, but it really doesn't matter here. I'm playing with way too many cards. Um, Special summon my Rice Heart, banish the top 3 from his deck, banish my Fenrir, bring it back, just so I could banish something. I can't search. So here I rip some cards, banish one face down, banish from the extra deck, thinning the resources. And then just Dark Arm, putting him on top decking mode pretty much, right? SP, bringing back my Vicious Astral Loud, and that can't stop this, right? I have Fenrir, Birth, Ash, and like cards in hand. There's no way I could lose this game here. Going into game 2. So here he has Lubellion, Beast, Wyverburster, Mseti, Book of Moon, very good hand. I have Terraforming, Impermanence, Planet, Visas, and Preparations. Again, like 2 cards I definitely don't want to draw, especially going second, right? I don't really want to draw these cards. And then Terraforming when I already have Planet is not good. Like getting Rackphobia is to get either Visas or the Scareclaw. And having Terraforming here is like, again, like pretty redundant. So I have like 1 actual play and Imperm. So now him starting with Lubellion, having so many cards in hand, using Mseti, I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, he has a very good hand. I know that Imperm is not going to stop his first play. So I actually am thinking now, like, I want him to go into Vampire Sucker, because I know that's, like, kind of what his goal is, right? I want him to go into Sucker, because, or what is it called? Oh, Zombie Vampire. And I want him to mill for my deck. So I could imperm this, I'm thinking, but I'm like, nah, you know what? I know my hand can't get me there, so let me try to mill something. Let me try to mill Theosis. Let me try to mill like some Kashtira cards. Hopefully to get into like Vicious Astrolaud or like because give fueling my because this is going to become the Scareclaw field spell, which will then would become Tear Cash, not Tear Cash, Scareclaw Cash. So it's giving me fuel for that. So I'm like, you know what, you could mill, it's fine. I'll hold my imperm for my turn. So here he pretty much goes crazy on me. He does his full whatever it is that he does. Yep, I think he wanted to mill a Bestial, but he ended up not milling a Bestial, unfortunately for him. But still ends on, let's see. Let me just draw for turn, and let's see what we're dealing with. So he has the King's Hark, which again I have to deal with, right? Or he gets like a lot of cards back. My Fenrir, he has Book of Moon, Branded Beast, Spheres, which will bounce a card and then summon a Bestial, which then enables his Beast. And then he has this, which again I have to deal with without targeting it with with it can be targeted pretty much, right? So what is it like 1, 2, 3, 4 disruptions, and then I'm playing with like Visas. Preparation's not good, right? Not that great. I decide not to imperm. I realize that my best play is to super poly this away. So I didn't even use my imperm. Because then, like, if I imperm, it would like make him bounce the first thing I do, and I didn't want to do that. And even if he did, then I would just imperm the Fenrir. But yep, I know my plan is to put the Visas on the board. That's what I need to do. So I search Unicorn, Special Summon Unicorn. He books a Moon on Summon, which is very smart. Here I use the Scareclaw to banish my Theosis from Grave, which was a very, very, very big misplay. There was no point in me doing that whatsoever. And then I ended up still tributing the Unicorn to summon Visas and then super polying. I think the better play would have been just to like summon Unicorn, and then after he books, I just tribute set the Visas, and then super poly, right? And then therefore I could Scareclaw Cash, banish my Unicorn. So my Unicorn would have been banished instead of banishing my Theosis with no target in the banish zone. So I still managed to do something, right? I pick apart his board a little bit, attack over that. SP, banish the King's Hark, I have to. Then Typhon, I can't bounce. So yeah, so here I have preparations, but no card banished, right? When I could have had my Unicorn. Very big misplay. And unfortunately, that ends up costing me the game. Here he banishes. I use preparations just in case I draw into something. Nothing. I draw into a blank, and then he's able to draw. I mean, he has this that keeps adding back, right? So unfortunately, I draw that. If I had my banished unicorn, I could have gotten there, but yep, unfortunately. Oh, I said it too. So right, if I only attributed over the uni and banished the Tree Call. So here, let me pause it real quick. I have Unicorn, Super Poly, Birth, Ogre, and Rice Heart. So very redundant hand. I get access to all these cards through my Unicorn. So this is extremely redundant. He has Happy, Serenir, Crimson Gaia, Lebellion, and Starlight Seyfried. So again, pretty decent hand. No Shifter again, unfortunately, but yeah, I just end up my full board here. And again, my board always loses to the same thing. Super Poly, I mean, not Super Poly, but like blowout cards like Evenly, Lightning Storm, stuff like that. So I try to play around that as much as possible. And you see that here by me not setting the Super Poly, right? Because I know that this is a pretty big board. Preparations could add back a card, you could bring back a card. I have this that could summon itself during my opponent's turn. I know I'm not getting OTK'd. So I don't need to set my Super Poly. And I get rewarded because he draws Duster for turn. So as you'll see, that's going to become very relevant. So he Dusters me, he opens full engine. So he's able to just pick up on my board. I also misplay here. I could have preparation, bring back my other Fenrir, leaving me with 2 Fenrirs. And I didn't do that for some reason because I forgot, like a dummy that I am. But because of that misplay, it forces me to Fenrir the Serenir, right? Because if I don't, he's just going to enter battle, kill it. So if I had 2 Fenrirs, it would let me keep the Serenir. So would let me keep my Fenrir effect, right? Because even if he enters battle, it doesn't matter. So yeah, here, due to my misplay there, he's able to just go crazy, pick apart my whole entire board, send a card, pop a card, attack, and then for turn, I draw a Visa Starfrost, right? I keep drawing my weird cards, but yep, Super Poly kind of just deals with these 2 and gets rid of my Visas. Right, summon my King of the Swamp, and then I draw some of my Vishash Aloud, some of my Scareclaw, and then, Theosis, add back, Rise Heart, and then that's enough for game. He gets a little annoyed here, right? He's like, Super Poly, I had 3 games, all 3 games Super Poly, but I didn't have Shifter, right? That could have gotten me there against them. But I guess you have to play the cards to see them, right? And I'm playing 3 Super Poly, 3 Shifter, so talent wins, he says. Yep. So let me know, and I tell him my deck sucks because it does. So let me know if you guys like replays like this. I want to do more. I mean, I play whenever I can on DB, and if I could just, all the games get recorded. So I like doing voiceovers. If you guys like videos like this, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about the Super Poly and Scareclaw stuff. I'm testing it out right now. It's 5 cards, right? 3 Super Poly and the 2 Scareclaw cards, 1 Visas, 1 Field Spell. Normally I was playing other utility cards like Book of Moon, Droplets, stuff like that, but these cards are actually pretty good right now. I mean, Super Poly has been clutch, right? Like every game I saw it, it was really good, and even in other games that I was playing it against meta, it was very good. So, yep, that's it.